Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. I'm making this video while editing a highlight video currently. Um, but really all I was wanting to make this video about, it might be short, it might be unedited, but really all I really wanted to make this video about was I just been thinking, of course, closer to the time period of the game actually coming out, and that game of course is college football 25, closer to that time period when that game starts, so the trailers start to drop, everything before of course, but around that time period I'm gonna drop a video pretty much talking about what I want to see for the new game. But right now we're still early. We still haven't had a trailer, haven't had a date set for when the trailer will drop. And currently I've just been thinking, what do I want to see in the new game? So that's what we're going to talk about here really quickly. We're going to go into further detail closer to the release date and closer to the premiere trailers and information coming out, as I believe I said in the last video. But today is just really just a quick overview of stuff I want to see. And yeah. So, number one, the main thing I want to see is, honestly, I didn't mind how the players looked this year. It was a little different playing Madden and cfb26, but I didn't exactly care too much. It's a little it's better, it's cooler to see a game like college football having more college feeling visuals going on, and it's not as serious as the NFL where it's very realistic. But also it would have been cool to see just a realistic looking video game with face scans and stuff like that. I know the method they used this year was probably the best. Just the method they used, I believe, was they took a bunch of pictures of players and computer generated the face models or whatever. And that was probably, just trying to get this game out. Honestly, that was probably the better thing to do, because, trying to face scan thousands of college football players is not the best. And I understand. But also, I feel like they should update sometimes the models of the players. Some people have dreads hanging out the back of their helmet or hair hanging out the back of their helmet, and in real life and on the game, you don't see that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a ton of stuff they got to work on, and it's only the second year, going into the second year of having a consistent college football game. But it's got, I wouldn't mind just small updates like that, just the finer details of the game. That's what makes it interesting, honestly. And that's again, as I said in the last podcast video, episode, or whatever you want to call it, just a team that really cares about the product and their fans really make a difference. And that's why this team on this game really, I love what they've done and the product they've released, and I see they're trying to make a difference, and that's what really counts. So really, that is not a big wants. It's just kind of me thinking through like my thoughts, honestly, out loud with you guys. Second thing I want to see is an improved dynasty. I've heard a lot of people talking about a trophy room. See, I wasn't alive during I wasn't playing video games during the time of when all these earlier college football games came out, where they had this kind of stuff. And honestly, when they're talking about it, sounds cool. If you're playing a dynasty, going into every year, like you start current day and you just play for like 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, something crazy like that, it makes sense why you would want a trophy room, because you're putting all this work in, putting all this time in to your team on dynasty, yet you're not seeing any of your accomplishments in like a 3D instance, you know, because you're probably gonna know your accomplishments. Like if I won a couple of national championships, a couple bowl games, you probably might remember them. But if you're playing for such a long time and you can't see them face to face, then you know it's probably gonna take away a little bit of the magnitude of what you did. You know what I'm saying? So that was something I was looking at a lot of people talking about, and I understood why they were talking and why they wanted something like that to happen in the next game. Moving on to the next thing, real quick, I'm gonna talk about high school, right? And before I want to get into high school, really quickly, I want to talk about just is EA gonna be able to get all these players into the next game? Because you know, based off of NIL and how good this first installment of the college football series has done, a lot of players are requesting and wanting more money for their NIL deal and their face and likeness, all that jazz. I feel like the bigger schools, I feel like EA should do the bigger schools, pay the bigger schools, like the bigger conferences in the schools in the conferences. So like uh conferences like the Pac-12. Actually no, keep the Pac-12 because they have some bigger schools going there. But like the Sun Belt, I mean, I know there's gonna be a ton of people wanting to see their players that they see in real life, and it's kind of crazy. And I understand why these players want more money. They see it as a opportunity to get more money, but it's kind of crazy, bro. Like, if I was out there playing and I agreed to, I think they paid like 600 or something like that last year, and now they're asking for 1,000 each. You might be thinking like a big company like EA, oh yeah, they can pay that. But when you're paying it for like multiple schools, there's 130 something schools in the FBS. You're gonna be playing millions, bro, for 1 year, and they're probably gonna want even more money the next year. It's just greedy, honestly. So my understanding of the situation, my little understanding of the situation, it sounds greedy. I'm not gonna lie to you. So, you know, it is what it is. Hopefully they can figure this out. But it's just stupid, bro. Like, so many people are wanting to see their favorite players play and be able to, be able to play for your favorite players in the next game. And if you can't do that because they can't pay how many freaking players in the entire Division 1A college football league, it's gonna suck. I'm not gonna lie, it will suck. So that's just something I wanted to speak on real quick. Going into high school though, that's gonna be interesting because high school is honestly high school in Road to the Show or Road to Glory will be cool to see. And I wouldn't mind having like a little high school mode. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want them to make a high school mode as like how Road to the Show in MLB The Show 25 is doing. Where you play a couple games, like five. They're not even playing 5 games, it's like 3 games is what it's looking like. And then you go to college. Like, I would want to play, if they're only going to put me for my senior year, probably I will want to play the entire senior year. So high school plays like, I don't know, 11 games, something around there. I would want to play at least all those games to see over time my draft, my signings, everything go up, over time, over that, over the season. Because that's kind of how it is in real life. I would think, I don't play football like that, but I would think like throughout the season, if you're showing promise, you know what I'm saying, from the beginning of the season, maybe you had a little struggle your junior year, going into your senior year, you're looking like you have some promise. I would expect more teams trying to reach out to you. You know what I'm saying? Of course, they're going to want to see some big improvement. If you're a 2-star your junior year and you want to become a 4-star senior, you're gonna have to show some big improvement. But I would assume that that's what will happen. And the main thing right here for me is I don't want to see because I know there's a high school game being made on Steam, but it's not. We don't know when it's. I don't know when it's gonna come out. Honestly, the last time I checked up with it was around December, and there was still an unconfirmed date on when it will release. So really, it's just gonna be, honestly, the big thing for college football though is just I want to play my high school. At least if it's probably gonna be senior year or something like that. I want to play a majority of my high school years. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to play a couple games and that's break it or win it. Like break it or like what is it called? It's win it or lose it, something like that. I don't want to see that happen.